today's video is going to be basically this piece I've been working on. For those of you who don't know, I write poetry. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Sabrina. Welcome to Crown Royal Diaries. This is the channel, like I say, where we keep it real, honest, blunt, and most importantly, we just try to have fun. This is a chill, laid-back channel. It's nothing, crazy. I'm not trying to be nothing I'm not. I wanted to share this piece with you guys, and if you are new here, like I said, hit that subscribe button. If you are not new here, you guys already know how we get down. I call this piece Being Alone. You see, being alone, I had to be alone. And when I say be alone, I had to hide in the dark. Being alone, I had to smile even though I was putting up a fight. Being alone, it brought on depression. Being alone, I couldn't make a confession. Being alone, I had to smile. Being alone, nobody knew I was down. Being alone, I give you this smile. But being alone, every day was a frown. You see, being alone, I had trust issues. Being alone, I had self-conscious issues. Being alone, I didn't know who to turn to. Being alone, because in my eyes, nobody went through what I went through. Being alone, that person just upped and left me. Being alone, I had God. Being alone, trust me, you don't want it. Being alone, who knew this world could be so dark? Being alone, do people really have people in their corner? Being alone, I had family, but being alone, I didn't know how to talk to my family. Being alone, my brain shut down. Being alone, every day, it was more and more down. Being alone, I cried myself to sleep. Being alone, my heart was broken. Nobody could see. Being alone, it was a challenge. Being alone, you learn a lot about yourself. The toughest times of my life were me being alone. I went through my darkest fight in this room, alone. As I speak before you, this room that I talk to you guys in is where I was alone. Many days of crying, I was in here alone. As soon as I stepped foot out that door, behold, the smile. But see, underneath that smile was a pain probably even you couldn't grasp. Being alone, I was alone. I make that pause because, guys, I was alone. But my past was a dark place for me. But I tell you something else. My future is still a dark place for me. You see, being alone, I don't have a lot of people. So you see, being alone, I met this one guy. So this one guy was my person. So being alone, I'm constantly calling him. Being alone, I'm constantly texting him. Being alone, I'm always up under him. Being alone, I only want him to be with me. Being alone, I know that's not how life works. Being alone, I fear for me. Being alone, I love my life. But being alone, somehow things don't seem right. Being alone, I have a lot to live for. Being alone, I'm always arguing with him. Being alone, I'm always wondering. Being alone, I'm always asking. Being alone, why did I have to be alone? Being alone, You can smile. Being alone. But do people really know you? Being alone. Do they really know you? Being alone. I write poetry. Being alone, I can express my poetry. Being alone is where I found myself. So I'm sorry if I'm always calling you. I'm sorry if I'm always texting you. I'm sorry if I'm taking you away from work. I'm sorry if you have to put your life on pause for me. I'm sorry if I'm a burden to you. I'm sorry if you don't understand that I'm alone. You see, being alone is how I got to Crown Royal Diaries. Being alone made me not alone. So I'm sorry if my life is a mess for you. Being alone, you gotta understand, my life is holding on by pieces of glue. Being alone, I'm hurt. Being alone, I trust no one. Being alone, I trusted you. Being alone, you're my person. Being alone, please understand where I'm coming from. Being alone is how I learned to be quiet. Being alone, now I'm scared to call you. Being alone, now I'm scared to text you. Being alone, now I'm scared people are gonna look at me different. Being alone is where I learned the sound of silence. Being alone, now when I call you is a problem. Being alone, now I know I can't call you. Being alone, yeah, being alone. I'm alone. But being alone is now where I close my mouth. Being alone, I won't call you anymore. Being alone, I won't text you anymore. Being alone, I'll move in silence. Being alone, my presence will be missed. Being alone, I'm as real as it gets. Being alone, may the best man win. Being alone. I tell you, life goes on. Being alone, I can't take breaks in life. Being alone, every day is a fight. Being alone, I get excited when you call my phone. But now, being alone, the phone doesn't ring. Being alone, now when you call me, being alone, now when you text me, being alone, now when you want to communicate with me, being alone is when you're gonna be alone. And that's all I gotta say, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. I know I just switched like that, but yeah, I was done talking. I love you guys. Bye, guys.